What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Wednesday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt, and we are back after a flat 2-2 day that could have been a great night. We could have had a great night. Came up just a couple of baskets short, unfortunately. We get UCF easy. I told you, KU, they are not to be trusted to lay that type of number. They won, didn't come close to covering. Butler, they lost by 9. So that was one bucket away from that being right. Pittsburgh won and covered easily against North Carolina. They continue to dominate the Heels. That's 4 wins in the last 4 years in the regular season for Pitt up against North Carolina. And then Georgia and South Carolina, that game fell 130. We were one bucket shy. Unfortunately, South Carolina had the basketball and they turned it over, and Georgia dribbled out the clock and South Carolina did not foul. So that game falls 130 instead of going over 131.5. So we lose 1.1 there. Butler losing 1.1. So we're down 0.2 with a 2-2 day. So just a paper cut type of day for us here on a Wednesday. I'm going to tell you here at the top, I have been agonizing over the Creighton Blue Jay game tonight. The Creighton Blue Jays, since the last time I backed them against Georgetown, and they went out and they lost by 20-plus points on the road, they've been the hottest team in college basketball against the number. They play Xavier tonight laying 6. The numbers are super tight right now, and the Jays are 8-1-1 ATS over their last 10 games. Xavier has covered 3 of the last 4, but the Jays and Xavier play close games all the time. And Xavier needs this game as bad as the Blue Jays do. And while I want to back Creighton and I want to tell you to lay the 6 points, I'm instead going to try to get a better number and wait for it to be in-game and take the Jays by 3 or less in-game up against Xavier. I think Creighton wins. The Jays have had a lot of success against Sean Miller, Coach McDermott and company, and they've been playing so well since Zubac has been getting big minutes. He just is getting better and better and better. And he's making up for Pop Isaacs and that injury he suffered earlier in the year. They have another guard, and it's been gigantic to have a shooter and another guard to help out Ashworth in the backcourt. So I like the Jays tonight. I don't like them by 6. I think that they win. I want 3 or less. So that will be an in-game wager. I went through this like crazy, going back and forth and trying to find an angle to do this. If the Jays win this game by 20 or more points, they'll become just the second team in the last 15 years to win back-to-back-to-back Big East games by 24 points or more. Only UConn last year, who won the national championship, did that in the last 15 years of Big East play. So just to kind of give you an idea. Greg McDermott is 3-2 up against Sean Miller. Sean Miller historically is 3-6 against the Blue Jays, but the Jays swept the Musketeers for the second time, just the second time last year, also in 2019-2020, winning a pair of games by 7 points, 85-78 in Omaha and 78-71 in Cincinnati. But 25 of the 41 meetings have been decided by 5 points or less, and 11 of the last 20 games have been within 5 points in the final minute between these two teams. So traditionally, we're talking about the Jays and Xavier playing a pretty close game. These are two of the hottest teams in college basketball and in the Big East. I lean Creighton, but I want 3 or less from a number of perspectives. So just at the top, I'm going to give you an early play, in-game play for the Jays and Xavier. Big game tonight. Cannot wait to watch it. If you guys are looking for a sports book, let me tell you about our friends at Bet365 and the offer that we've got for you guys with BettingPros. Bet365, Daily Juice listeners, turn $5 into $150 of bonus bets when you join Bet365. To claim the offer, just go to bettingpros.com/365 and go and deposit at least $10. If you place a bet of at least $5, you'll earn $150 in bonus bets. Again, that's bettingpros.com/365. 5. 21 plus only. Must be present in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, or Virginia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-BETS-OFF if you live in Iowa. Terms and conditions do apply. All right. So we've had a really good month of January. Let's end it here for the last couple of days here in the month of January before we go off into February. Let's start talking about Wisconsin and Maryland. Wisconsin's on the road where they are 7-1 ATS this year. Wisconsin in the Big Ten is 7-2 ATS, and they've covered 3 straight, 4 of 5, and 8 of 10. They're red hot. Maryland, on the other hand, is 7-6 ATS at home, but just 4-6 ATS against the Big Ten, 1-4 ATS over their last 5 games. They had a rallying comeback against Indiana on the road in their last game. Beating Illinois by 21 points was a shocker, an eye-opener, a wow moment. Then to follow up here and they beat Indiana, pretty impressive, but their last home game against Nebraska, they were laying 9.5. They won by 3. Against Minnesota, they were laying 15.5, and they won by 6. This number is too heavy. 5.5 is too heavy. I think Wisconsin's going to have a legitimate shot to win this game outright. KenPom has this as a 4-point win for Maryland. We're catching 5.5. Wisconsin's offense is 8th in efficiency, 30th in effective field goal percentage, 69th in three-point shooting, and 27th in two-point percentage, and they hit their free throws. Wisconsin's the best free throw shooting team in college basketball. When we're going on the road, catching points, hit your free throws. You want to pull the upset, hit your free throws. Big stat for Wisconsin. Maryland's defense has been great this year. 24th in efficiency, 59th in effective field goal percentage, 76th in three-point defense, 70th in two-point defense. No debating that, but Wisconsin's defense has been very good as well. Maryland's offense has been surprisingly good this year. 20th in efficiency, 34th in effective field goal percentage, and 58th in three-point shooting. They got a couple of marksmen. They got a couple of sharpshooters. Rodney Rice is unbelievable. And Julian Reese, these are guys you got to be aware of as to where they are at all times. Three-point shooting percentage for Rodney Rice is tremendous. Inside, outside, got to be careful with these shooters. But Rice, a 36% three-point shooter. Gillespie's a 42% three-point shooter. They got guys coming off the bench who are hitting 42% from behind the arc. Maryland can shoot. Wisconsin's three-point defense is pretty good. It's 68th in the country. That's a huge key. Got to get out on shooters. I'll take the points. Wisconsin on the road, catching 5.5 for 1.1 units. Bet number 2, we're going to Houston and West Virginia. Morgantown. West Virginia's been a roller coaster. I mean, absolute roller coaster. They're 6-3 in the Big 12 ATS, though. Houston, 6-2. But on the road, they're 3-5. 3-5 ATS-wise. West Virginia beats Iowa State at home by 7 and shocks the Cyclones. They turn around on the road at home and they lose to Arizona State. We were on Arizona State in that game. They lose outright. Then they go on the road to Kansas State and they get beat by 13 as 2.5-point dogs. Now they're back at home again. After losing to Iowa State, they lost to Arizona by 19 at home as a 4-point dog at home. This West Virginia team has got their hands full with a Houston team that just won in overtime against Kansas. They were catching 1. They won by 6. They were at home against Utah and they won by 34. They have 3 losses overall on the year. They lost to San Diego State, Alabama, and Auburn. Auburn and Alabama are 2 of the top 5 best teams in the country, arguably. San Diego State's just kind of like a stub your toe type of neutral site game that they lost. While I don't think West Virginia will win the game, I do think they're going to be in the game. And with the total being 123, I'll take home crowd, I'll take home environment, and a team that's really looking for a bounce back spot after losing 3 of 4 and 4 of 6. Darren DeVries won the midseason Coach of the Year award. That's actually a thing. He's got to get healthy. Not going to happen here tonight. but he needs to get back to playing his brand of basketball. Tucker DeVries is still out with his upper body injury. We don't know how long he's going to be out here, but this West Virginia team has been very inconsistent. But let's bet them on the low, and let's get them on the way up. Plus 8.5, West Virginia at home, catching 8.5 against Houston. I don't think they get blown out. I don't think they get run off their home court. Again, against Kansas, West Virginia won the game outright. Against Iowa State, West Virginia won the game outright. Now here's Houston. I don't think they win the game outright, but give me the plus 8.5 points on the Mountaineers at home, plus 8.5 for 1.1 units. So if you are so inclined, if you want to bet the Creighton Blue Jays laying 6, you can. That can be your favorite play of the day. Your dog plays are West Virginia plus 8.5 at home against Houston, and Wisconsin plus 5.5 on the road here against Maryland. And then NBA player props. You guys will go to the BettingPros app, download it today, go to it, search at Sports Talk Matt, and you will see at least 2 NBA player props for the games going on here today. I will tell you that if I don't like any player props, and the Boston Celtics team total in the first half is between 58 and 62, that is a better bet than a player prop, in my opinion. I like that. So we'll see what the number is. Boston's at home as a 14-point favorite against Chicago. Boston's lost 2 times to Chicago already this year. I expect a very big performance out of the Celtics, but I think offensively they score a ton in the first half. Boston just lost at home to Houston. I expect a big performance here out of the Celtics tonight against the Bulls, but that number matters to me. Between 58 and 62 team total first half for the Celtics. If that comes in, that might be the play over player props, but I will put that on the BettingPros app at Sports Talk Matt if I'm playing player props for tonight. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt every single morning, wherever you get your podcasts. It is the Daily Juice.